What's up, everybody? Same trail, different day. Somebody just walked by me. That was pretty cool. Why does it feel like everybody's waiting for something to happen? Myself included. Whatever it is, it's gonna happen. Even if it appears to be otherworldly, it's gonna be Freemasonic. That's what it's gonna be. And not any other world. You know, and if aliens are involved, or non-humans, people need to I don't know how to do it. I don't know if there's a crash course in getting your head out of your ass really quickly and realizing that almost everything you've been taught, they taught you ass backwards, and they didn't teach you the important stuff, just to make sure you're chasing your tail around after nothing. And if you think you learned something in high school or in college, I mean, you got more problems. You hang your hat on that, you're really not going to know what the fuck's going on. You know, if you live in the hood and you grew up rough, you have more chance of understanding than somebody that thinks they're book smart. Because we're just dealing with criminals. They just look a little different. And they've worked for years, man. You could say it's the little hats, or whoever you want to call it. There's a lot of people involved that aren't little hats, and they've sold themselves out. You know, you can't really blame them in a way. A lot of people, you know, the powers be will take everything from you and then come offer you something, and when you have nothing, and you'll have no choice because you live in their world. That's why we need breakaway communities that, but it won't happen, man, because you try to do that. You saw what happened in Waco, Texas. They weren't doing anything wrong at all. They just decided to kill him. And who really cares if they were, you know, if he was impregnating all the people in the group or whatever. I don't know about all that. But either way, they were legal. They had the legal. You can fucking live like that. Then they said they had weapons, so they were trying to form an army. That's when they come get you. But I think that was all bullshit. I think they set them up with that. And then they burned them alive. Or shot them dead. And they didn't, the way they covered it, you know, the media is just, it's a government fucking tentacle. That's very obvious. I mean, the news is such, anything that comes through that fucking shining, glowing Black Mirror box, you call it TV. Anything you see on that is going to mislead you or be bullshit. You know, and I will say, when you look at the last 100 years or so, that's been the biggest change in society, because they were coming off a reset, you know, in the early 1900s or so, and mass populating their slave herd, and I'm telling you, when they came back off the last reset, which looks like it was probably late, what was it before the wars? I think it was before, it would have been before the wars, but late 18, or was it? Mid 1800s, something like that. Well, and it's hard to look at a timeline and try to figure out what happened, because who gave us this fucking timeline of what happened? And look at all the structures that are fucking, yeah, they got these massive structures that we couldn't build today, and they were supposedly logistically built those things with wagons on dirt roads. With cutting, like with carvings and cutting that we can't do today. And I think a lot of those structures, they say, were, you know, made in whatever year they say. They're probably 500 years off. These things are probably way off. So there's been an industrial loop or start over. And if you roll over a people and you run the reset where you kill mostly everybody off, and then you start, that's the whole reason you do it, is for you know, like when they try to do whatever they're going to do to us, it's because they want to start over again, because everybody's figured shit out. And to all you fucking NASA idiots, that's been the backbone of this deception for the last 100 years. Even though, well, the first, they didn't even have NASA in the beginning of the 1900s. That didn't get you to the 60s. So, but NASA was created to mislead you into what's in the fucking sky and where you are. And it's done it perfectly because they used Hollywood and space movies and this fake reality of another world up there, where anybody with any brains or any sense has already figured out that it's water up there. We're in a fucking bubble. Space is water. And if you think that's funny or crazy, your head is still wearing your butthole as a necklace. And it makes a shitty one. Get it? Shitty. Your asshole makes a shitty necklace. And it's got to be hard to breathe up there. Probably doesn't smell too good either. Everything they've told us has been as far from the truth as they could give you. Totally backwards. I mean, look at the land here. We have right here. They say we're on a ball. All you have to do is be here to see that that's not true. You don't even have to fucking get in a plane or anything. Because if we were on a ball, you'd never be able to see the ocean from here. Even coming up in the hills like this, because it would be going down. Although you could say we're in a this is the valley, and it comes out of the valley, and then maybe that might change. But still, you see enough to see Earth bending. And the fucking argument has always been, oh no, it's too big to see. Well, bullshit. Bullshit. See, that's just one more thing for people smarter than you to tell you to not trust your God's given tools that you have. Don't trust them. You can't trust them. It's too great for you to see. You know, like when you see clouds go behind the sun, that's not real. It's an illusion. Even though you see the fucking sun, you see clouds going in front, behind. You see it with the moon too. It's really easy to see with the moon. And with the sun, when you go to the beach, you see it a lot. I mean, since I was a little kid, I'm not going to say I thought the earth was flat then, but when I heard the moon was so far and the sun was 93 million miles, my first thought was bullshit. Doesn't make any sense. The moon, you can see fucking craters on it without even using binoculars. So then we have superhuman sight. If we can see, what was it, 839,000 miles or something like that? Almost a million miles. I think it's 830 something. But that's what they say. And that's probably just some occultic number. Like 93 million for the sun. 369, those 369s, 93. I bet you 93 million is somehow divisible by 66. I don't know that, but I bet if you check it, it will come up true. When you look at the measurements they give you of the earth, it's the amount of times that 66 comes up, or 666, or 369s or any numbers, any of those numbers that they say for stars. I'm telling you, divide any of those by 66 or 666 or 6. The whole solar system, which doesn't exist, they made it up. And they also said we're supposed to believe that it's all on a plate, a flat solar system is on a dish. Well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. So why aren't we on the dish with it? Why is the dish above us? We'd be in the dish if we were part of that solar system, wouldn't we? But the dish is above us, which tells you it's not a fucking solar system. It's the Earth system. And something that would heat up only this area, because you go that way right now and it's already getting dark, or it's already dark, and it won't be heated up there. It's a local fucking heating light. It's like one of those space fucking heaters you have at home. Those ones that are total fire hazard. But fuck, we've all been taught to let other people do the thinking for us. And then you think you're putting your faith in somebody that's smart. Like, one of the biggest idiots I've ever seen is Neil deGrasse Tyson. I would love to meet that guy. He wouldn't love to meet me. He's just the Mason's pick to hold the front door, and they put a black guy there to deflect, because when the attacks come on him, they can get the race car to be there. If he was gay, you'd never be able to fuck with him. Black and gay, fuck. That's how you get a fucking killer job these days. CEO. Because you're marginalized twice. Whatever the fuck that means. They say you're marginalized, but yet they fucking bend over backwards to fucking please you. Well, there's no more margins. Or not, I mean, like, you look in the 80s, when crack hit the scene, you know, it was open season on black Americans to throw them in jail. I mean, they were throwing them in, everybody in jails. Well, have you ever heard that story about the rappers that in the 80s that met with this group of little hats, and they were told that they were going to be paid more to make music about killing each other? And I'm not going to name the groups that were there, but you can figure it out very easily. And they sat there and they told these groups, all these musicians, well, not musicians, rappers, that what they were doing, what they were doing was they were in the business of prisons. And they told him that. They said, we own prison. You know, you're going to fill them up for us. So the more music you make about killing, because they knew people in the hood are so influential. People with nothing are always going to be influenced very easily. They're looking for something, you know, and that's fucked up for humanity to do that to anybody. Well, they do it to all of us. But so, from what I hear, when they told that story, there was only one guy that got pissed when they told him what they were going to do, and they said, they didn't say who it was, but I think that guy vanished. But they pulled him out of that meeting, because when they went to that meeting, they said no guns. So everybody left their guns, and the only ones that had guns were the ones having the meeting, the little hats. You know, these were probably like government dudes. Government / whatever, criminals, whatever you're gonna say. So all these rappers fucking had to sit there and go, man, I can make a lot of money here. All I got to do is make songs about shooting people. So they did. That's a hell of a fucking, I mean, when you think about it, you don't think that that's how they get involved in the business. Like, because that was when the crack started, was hitting the scene. And they did just that, dude. All those guys started making big hit fucking songs about shooting, and boom, big record sales, big money, big, you know, the crack, and they were filling those fucking jails up, filling those prisons up. So the 80s and 90s were putting black people in jails. Now they're letting them all out. They want them out on the streets committing crimes. They want crimes against whites. They want whites in prison. They flipped the script. So white guys, it's our chance to be cool. We're the black guys now. No, don't get too excited. Everybody will let you get beat up by a group of black guys still. And if you're lucky, they won't be calling you a racist as 10 black guys beat you. It's crazy, like TikTok, you see those videos. And same with girls too. Black guys beating up white girls. And it's okay. White people are so horrible. And we're the reason your life is fucked up. So you can, you know, jump us, whatever. It's open season. So if you're fucking white, man, I don't mean white man. So if you're white, you know, when you go places, fucking you need to have eyes in the back of your head. And I've always thought that it's best to stomp loud, walk loud, be loud. You try to be quiet and blend in and be timid and try to think, you know, they're not going to see me if I'm just really quiet back here. You'll be the victim. You better act like you got balls if you don't. the only way you're gonna. That's the game in the hood. Because even if they can know they can kick the shit out of you, you're gonna be a problem. And when you're a low IQ criminal just looking for somebody to accept being robbed or beaten on, somebody that's going to stand up is going to be a lot more, you know, because you just want to rob somebody and go on to the next. So you're not going to be invisible. So be an asshole. Don't be like, man, I've seen this a couple of videos of white dudes, you know, like going in the liquor store, like in the black neighborhood, and they were using the N-word around black people, and they get fucked up or something. It's like, dude, if you saw how stupid you looked acting black, and they don't give you any respect for it, you know? And when you look at it the other way, and black people act white, well, that's not really acting in any way. It's, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, acting white is just being proper and not talking in slang, and, you know, so it's just kind of normal. And, you know, black has that saggy pant, everything I do is cool, where you from type of act. But that's not to say anything bad about black people. It's just that I don't know how to say it, but you see a white guy acting black, it looks stupid as fuck. You see a black guy that's kind of acting white, it just kind of looks like, oh, that guy's just not a hoodman, you know? That's not racist. It may not be right, but it ain't racist. I hope I don't run into a fucking bear again. I haven't seen one in a few trips. They're pretty cool. This is kind of when he shows up the late afternoon. There's a pile of fucking, there was a pile of railroad ties at the gate. It was sitting there for months, like a huge pallet, and then that shit was gone today. So, and I think the other day I heard a helicopter, and that's what they're doing. That's what the helicopter was doing. I heard a helicopter up here, and you could tell they were going really low. They're picking that shit up and dragging it up here. Maybe we'll be able to see where they dropped it. No, maybe not. They probably would take it. You know, well, you can drop it pretty much anywhere. But they would need, oh, probably up where that cabin is, that further up the hill. But I could hear, man, it was like, you know, you can tell when a chopper's like really, really low. And that pile was gone, because there's no way that any humans carried that shit up the hill. I doubt that. No, it looked like it was all rigged for a helicopter pickup. I did that shit before. Well, not in the helicopter. The rigging on a rooftop. This is the snake area. I should get my fucking whistle out. Nah, it ain't no thing. It's a fucking small bear anyway. I mean, a bear's a bear. If he decides to fuck you up, you're not gonna have a chance. As far as bears go, it's kind of a little guy. I made some changes last time I was here. I redirected the water. Oh, it's just perfect. I brought the old waterfall back that changed. Hey, what, something happened here? Or maybe not. Gotta look in the trees, man. That's where the fucking... All right, I'm gonna cut this one off. Probably make another one on the way down. It's been a pleasure.